Hello, ladies and gentlemen. The coin of the Wild West. If there is one coin that embodies the spirit of late 19th century America, the era of cowboys, saloons, railroad barons, and westward expansion, it is this hefty silver giant, the Morgan dollar. Minted from 1878 to 1904, and again for one final year, in 1921, this is more than just a piece of currency. It is a symbol of the American frontier and the most popular classic coin among collectors today. A coin born from a political brawl. Ironically, the Morgan dollar was a coin that nobody in the government actually wanted. Its creation was not driven by a need for commerce, but by raw political power. In 1873, a law effectively ended the silver dollar, putting the U.S. on a gold standard. This enraged powerful silver mining interests in the West who saw the value of their silver plummet. They lobbied relentlessly, and the result was the Bland-Allison Act of 1878. The mandate by silver make dollars. The Bland-Allison Act forced the U.S. Treasury to buy millions of dollars worth of silver bullion from the Western mines every single month and coin it into silver dollars. It was a massive government subsidy for the silver industry. The nation was about to be flooded with millions of silver dollars whether it needed them or not, and a new design was required immediately. The artist, a young English talent, the task of creating this new design fell to George T. Morgan, a brilliant young engraver who had recently been hired from the Royal Mint in London. Morgan was a student of realism and brought a fresh modern perspective to the U.S. Mint, which was exactly what was needed for this new high-profile coin. The face of liberty, a secret model. Morgan did not want to use a mythical Greek goddess as his model for liberty. He wanted a real American woman. He was introduced to a Philadelphia schoolteacher named Anna Willis Williams. She agreed to model for him in secret, believing that the publicity would be unladylike and could cost her her job. Her classic strong profile would become the face of one of the world's most famous coins. The Obverse design, a new vision. The Obverse by Morgan is a masterpiece. It shows his portrait of Lady Liberty, but with distinctly American symbols. Instead of a royal crown, she wears a Phrygian cap, a symbol of freedom, adorned with agricultural staples, wheat and cotton. The national motto, E Pluribus Unum, arches above her head, and the date is placed below, all surrounded by 13 stars for the original colonies. The reverse, an eagle with a controversy. The reverse features a powerful, realistic eagle with its wings outstretched, clutching an olive branch and arrows. Initially, Morgan designed the eagle with 8 tail feathers. After criticism from ornithologists who noted that bald eagles only have an odd number of tail feathers, the design was quickly changed. This created the rare and famous 8-tail feathers variety from 1878, a prize for collectors. The coin nobody used for all the political fighting that went into its creation. The Morgan dollar saw very little circulation in the eastern United States. It was big, heavy, and inconvenient when paper silver certificates were available. The vast majority of these coins went straight from the mint presses into canvas bags and were stacked in treasury vaults where they would sit untouched for decades. The exception king in the West out west, however, it was a different story. In the silver mining states and on the frontier, paper money was distrusted. Hard cash, or hard money, was king. Morgan dollars became the coin of choice in saloons, at poker tables, for land deals, and for payrolls. This is where the coin earned its romantic Wild West reputation. A tale of 5 mints. Morgan dollars were produced at 5 different U.S. mints, and the mint mark on the reverse below the tail of the eagle is crucial to its identity and value. Coins were struck in Philadelphia, which had no mint mark. San Francisco, denoted by S. New Orleans, with O. Denver, which produced coins only in 1921 with D, and the legendary Carson City, with CC, which produced the lowest mintages and most sought-after coins. The Great Meltdown, the Pittman Act. The story took a dramatic turn in 1918. To help the British government stabilize its currency during World War I, the U.S. government passed the Pittman Act. This law authorized the melting of up to 350 million stored silver dollars. Over 270 million Morgan dollars, nearly half of all ever made, were melted down into silver bars and shipped overseas instantly, making many dates much rarer than their original mintages suggest. The one-year resurrection, 1921, the Pittman Act also required that all the melted dollars eventually be replaced. To fulfill this mandate, the Morgan dollar was brought out of retirement for one final massive production run in 1921. These 1921 Morgans have a slightly different, shallower look than the originals, and were struck in enormous quantities, making them the most common and affordable date in the series. The greatest treasure hoard in history, for decades the Morgan dollar was just a common old coin. That all changed in the 1960s when the Treasury decided to clear out its vaults. They discovered hundreds of forgotten canvas bags containing millions of pristine, brilliant, uncirculated Morgan dollars that had sat undisturbed for over 80 years. This massive hoard, especially the coins from the Carson City Mint sold by the GSA, electrified the coin-collecting hobby and made owning a mint-condition piece of history possible for the average American. Current value common dates, thanks to the GSA Hoard and high mintages, the Morgan dollar is one of the most affordable 19th century coins. A common date like an 1881 S or a 1921 in a circulated worn condition can be purchased for around $30 to $50. The same coins in beautiful, brilliant, uncirculated condition are readily available for $60 to $100. Current value the keys to the kingdom, while common dates are affordable. The rare key dates are a different story. An 1889 CC from Carson City can be worth thousands of dollars, even in worn condition. The ultimate prize is the 1893 S with a low mintage and most of the coins being heavily circulated. A mid-grade example can cost $5,000 to $10,000 with high-grade specimens soaring into the six figures. The people's silver dollar, the Morgan dollar, is the king of American coins for a reason. It has a dramatic political history, a beautiful and iconic design, a romantic connection to the Wild West, and a price range that makes it accessible to everyone from the novice collector to the millionaire investor. It is a true piece of Americana, a silver story of a nation coming of age.